Hello?
Do I need to repeat that?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone, please turn off your phones. Good evening. Welcome to the November 4th, 2020. We want to thank everyone for supporting the HDC and getting out to vote to support us. This is our regular meeting. I'm the chair, Dee Bright. Commissioners present this evening are Steve Holyfield, Maggie Haid, Greg Moon, Judy Holden, Randy Maddox. Absent with notice is Marty Cogan. We have a quorum for business. The Eureka Springs Historic District Commission is empowered by the Eureka Springs Municipal Code to issue a certificate of appropriateness for alterations of exterior architectural features, demolition, and new construction within the boundaries of the Eureka Springs Historic District. The HDC uses Eureka Springs Historic District guidelines and the U.S. Department of Interior standards for the rehabilitation of historic buildings as the basis for decisions. The Commission can take the following actions on an application: approval with modifications, denial, or defer for more information. Appeal of denial may be made to the Circuit Court. Public comments will be heard on each agenda item as it is called. Other public comments are best addressed to the city. Marty Cogan has made it. Are there any changes to the agenda or additions? Is there a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
I make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Greg Moon made the motion to approve the agenda. Steve Holyfield seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed 6-0. We have no old business, new business. Level 2, 28 Fairmont, remove stairway, return railing, Anderson. Level 2, 28 Fairmont, replace front door, Anderson. Level 2 and 3, 5 Douglas, reapply for demolition, move / replace retaining wall, Truer. Okay. 28 Fairmont. Do we have somebody? Oh, I'm sorry.
I move that we discuss levels 1, 2, or 3, work at the address, and listed on the summary of facts.
Do we have a second?
Second?
Maggie Haid made the motion. Judy Holden seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 6-0. Motion carried. Okay, will you state your name and address?
Mark Anderson. The house we're discussing is at 28 Fairmount, Eureka
Okay.
Springs.
The property owner is Mark Anderson. The applicant is the same. Construction date 1904. It is contributing. He's removing non-original staircase, install railing across the remaining porch opening. And Maggie's going to read you the summary of facts on that.
The summary of facts is presented on the application. A, stairway is deteriorated. See photos number 2 through 9. B, the stairway is not original. See photo number 10. It was added in the 1990s as a fire exit for the second floor. See 1991 drawings 11, 12, and 13. And C, new railing will be installed to close gap left by stair removal. Railing will match existing porch railing.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
Does anybody have any questions of Mr. Anderson?
I move that the proposed work at 28 Fairmont is compatible with the U.S. Secretary of the Interior standards for the rehabilitation of historic buildings, as well as Eureka Springs Historic District Guidelines number 3, architectural details and features, and number 47, staircases, and move that the level 2 work to remove exterior stairway and install railing across the remaining porch opening be approved according to the agreed-upon summary of facts as presented.
Second?
Judy Holden made the motion, Greg Moon seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 6-0, motion carried. And we have another application by Mr. Anderson. Again, it's 28 Fairmont. Property owner Mark Anderson. Applicant same, construction date 1904, contributing yes. Replace non-original front door. And she'll read you the summary of facts again.
The summary of facts is presented on the application. A, front door is not original. It had been replaced by 1980. See photo number 1. B, the original facade was very ornate, but details are not discernible in photo number 2. C, which is the double B, front door was probably replaced in the 1990s renovation. See photo for current door number 3. D, which is the C, replacement door is salvage. Damaged details will be repaired with epoxy. Door will be painted white. See photo number 4. Does that sound right, sir?
Yes, it sounds great. It's actually a beautiful door. You know, it's not in real good condition, and it was $250 for a door. And because it was authentic, and that's the reason we were willing to pay that much for a door.
Do you have the original pieces of the damaged parts?
We have most of the, it's carved work around the
Right.
oval doorway. There are bits that are broken off, but it's bilaterally symmetric, so the right side's like the left side. And wherever we've got a little bit broken off, we can look at the other side and be able to match it, and will, because otherwise it'll look kind of funny if the two sides
And
don't.
it fits precisely within the door frame?
It fits, yes.
Okay, great.
And the glass will go, what's the glass that will go in?
Glass is in now. It's a beveled
Oh,
glass. that
it
goes
looks
in.
empty to me, so there's glass actually it is in there.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Oh,
Great.
That's
good.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the door that's in there now is not, it's more a modern door. It's not,
It's more of a store door.
yeah.
I move that the proposed work at 28 Fairmont is compatible with the U.S. Secretary of State of Interior Standards for Rehabilitation of Historic Buildings, as well as Eureka Springs Historic District Guidelines, doors, and move that the level 2 work to be replaced, the front door to be approved according to the agreed upon the summary of facts as presented.
Second.
Greg Moon made the motion. Steve Holyfield seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried 6-0. Thank you. Maggie's going to bring down your C of A.
Fantastic, thank you. This is my first time, but it won't be the last.
Well,
Wrap
thank
it down.
you for working on that house. We're very glad somebody's
Oh, I love
bought
the
it and
house.
taking care of it.
And, yeah, it needs some,
It does. They were working on the roof and all when I went by. Yes.
there'll be more.
Thank you very much.
By the way, Glenna's a real treasure. She helps somebody that knows nothing about this process or doesn't know much about historic homes. Tell me everything I need to know and help step me through this, so I can show up once and you can approve it and it all makes sense, so. Appreciate what you do, but I also
Yes.
appreciate Glenna's work.
Glenna's great.
We agree.
She helps us very much.
Second. Yeah.
I'm gonna sit down and talk a little bit.
Thank you. Our next is 5 Douglas. Do we have someone here for 5 Douglas?
Hello,
Hi, you want to state your name?
I'm Latigo Chor, and I'd like to say congratulations for not getting shut down. I think you're very, very important to this town.
Thank you.
Thanks, Latigo.
I'm not trying to kiss butt.
Latigo's the property owner and the applicant. Construction date was 1904. It is a contributing house. Request is extend previous approved demolition and move/replace retaining wall. I'm going to let Maggie read you the summary of facts first.
The summary of facts as presented on the application: A, demolition of the house was previously approved December 5th, 2018, but work was not completed. See 2018 Building Inspector Report Number 1. B, the retaining wall in front of the house has not been in good condition for years. A 1980 photograph shows additional support buttresses of concrete block, photo number 2. A poor repair was done on part of the wall around 2005. C, Eureka Springs Municipal Code requires 2 off-street parking spaces for a new single-family dwelling, creating an issue if a new home is to be built on the lot after demolition. D, the request is to rebuild the wall for new construction using as much original stone as possible. See architect's rendering of the new home, number 3.
Is that correct, Latigo?
Yeah. Can I speak a little bit about
Oh, sure, go ahead.
the original delay with me coming in and getting approval in the first place was prior to my ownership of the property. When ownership came into me, there's a very long story about Susan, the original owner, passing away during the time that I was acquiring the house, and the gap that I had to remove the house was gone. I now have that gap back, and I have the opportunity to get in there and actually get it gone. And I'm requesting to take the wall away, the house away, and then coming back in here with full plans and full renovations of the entire place. Nobody likes that wall. That wall is absolutely thrown together. It's mostly concrete and cinder blocks. None of the stairs match anything in Eureka Springs. But I'm just coming here and wanting to have permission to take down part of the wall and get my equipment up in there, take the house down, and then I want to come back with the full-on plans. The plan that was given to you by my architect is what my vision is of final looking of the property.
But you're going to come back to us on that. We're not going to talk about that
Yeah,
tonight.
I'm not asking about the photo or the drawing that was given to you is like the angle. I'm not asking for that. I'm just asking for permission to take down the horrific wall and the once was a beautiful house. And then after that's gone, then we come back to talking about what we put back in. I know I had permission to tear down the house, but there's not enough room to get equipment in there, and that wall is in the way. So if I were to take down the house, well, that wall is there, and then take down the wall, it makes no sense. The wall needs to go, the house needs to go, and then I'd love to plan a house with you guys.
Okay, we're going to break this down into 2 motions. First, to extend the demolition is motion number 1.
Well, the wall is not original to the house. It's been piecemealed, put together.
Some of it is-ish, but I have several pictures to prove to you that it's been patched and repaired and done completely wrong. I mean, there's cinder blocks
So
going
the
up
picture
to
that
the
we see, the
road.
cinder block, looks like stairs are actually
Those are cinder blocks trying to hold the wall up
For the baling wall.
failing wall. There's huge holes of the rock falling out into the street. I mean, it's an eyesore for Eureka Springs.
It's
Through and
horrible.
through. It's awful. There's chain link fence. Like, none of this is 1904.
The only
at all.
thing holding that wall together, from what I could see when I went and looked at it, is tons of concrete that's just
Yeah.
been
There's-
slapped up there constantly.
And I have pictures, but there is concrete poured on top of the wall. Like, there's nothing worth salvaging. If there was, I would have already done it. But it's a lost cause right now. I even went to look at the stairs, and all the stairs are concrete. Like, I would love to replace it with limestone. I'd love to do it correctly. And, yeah, you can see by the architectural drawing that I have done, that's the end goal. And I've been around Eureka Springs for a long time. I love building houses around here. I know the people that do the work correctly. We were just driving around town taking pictures of what kind of staircases I want to put in there, but that's not this meeting. We will go into planning of how to replace everything, how to do everything. But the issue at hand right now is I need your permission to take that wall down and that house out. And then nothing will happen until your approval to put it back up.
I have a question, Latigo. If you do this drawing that you've presented to us, eventually, where will the walls be on that? Exactly that's shown in the picture?
I'm sorry, say that out again?
The walls, are they going to be,
So.
if you do this, are the walls going to be like the diagram that you gave us?
Kind of. What we were trying to show, me and the architect were trying to show that when the house goes back in, it's not going to go, or when the wall goes back in, it's not going to be exactly the same as the wall is now. The staircase comes out, goes down, and then out towards the road. We want to move that staircase over and go directly up to the front door. And then we want to have an area where the cars park in front, and then there's a garage underneath the house.
But do I understand, though, that if you're going to build a new house, you have to have off-street accommodation for parking?
That is
And the
correct.
only way to do that is going to be to excavate into where the wall is now, which I think we all agree is structurally unsound and perhaps even dangerous.
Yes, planning
he's-
has made that you have to have 2 parking spots.
Exactly. And Latigo has said something that I think has just left my head.
Happens to me all the time.
I don't even remember what I was about to say, but, so I'll stop right
Well, you
there.
said
But-
structural.
It doesn't appear to me that you'll be able to go into the property of the house and dig out parking spots. And I see in this rendering, you have a curve to the wall that it goes into the yard.
Yeah.
And where will that, how will that look? I mean,
So
I know that property well, and I just don't see
what
how
that
it's
is, what I'm here for right now is your permission to take down the existing wall and get the house out.
And
That's all I want permission for. When I come back and we are starting to build the house, I will definitely have much better and more detailed descriptions on how that will work. I'm not going to start doing this
so
until I have your approval.
is this a garage right here?
Yeah.
Nick? Yes?
Just a
But I'm
concept.
not
It's
going
just
to
a
build
concept.
that. It's a
Glenna just
concept
asked
idea.
me to ask about the walls.
The walls and all of that will never ever be constructed or reconstructed without your approval. Right now, I just need to get rid of the old wall and the old house, and then we will meet again about what we're going to do in the future.
And you also made the point, if I understood, that there's no real way to get up there and demo that house
There
without,
is,
you've
but
got to
it's
get
much
equipment
bigger
up.
equipment and much more much more, and I don't think that part of town needs that kind of equipment in it.
I have a question, and I'm sure you thought about this, but I just want to bring it up. When you take this wall down and we start having heavy rains, is all that dirt and stuff going to come washing down?
Absolutely.
So maybe a wall,
And you can't do it.
That's a great question.
because I've seen that happen already here, and it's like other people's property gets damaged, and maybe that wall should stay there for a purpose to keep things up.
Well, that will go on my, well,
No,
just
that
saying.
wall is,
that goes
Because
on
it's so
my
close to the
contractor's
street right
license.
there,
So
that could
if I
block
draw
off that whole street.
if my construction or my demolition draws hinder on anybody else's property or anything, I will cover that. I'm insured for that. And I don't leave a job site where I hinder or create problems for anybody else. So to answer your question, Greg, that is a great question.
I'm just curious.
And
'cause
it's a
that's
very,
like-
very big
That's only
concern.
one street in there to all those houses back there, and if that comes down, that's going to be blocking their access.
Absolutely. But
Okay.
I could also, we could leave the wall there, and I could throw in huge dumpsters that would block that road off for 6 months, and we could slowly take
Yeah.
that house down.
True.
Or I could come in there with equipment, I could take that wall down, I could get up in there and take the house down, and then we could be done, and we can already start planning on the new house.
I noticed there were some pipes coming out of the wall, and I'm just wondering if those pipes were not inserted at some later date to address water
Yeah.
coming from the back of the house.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so when you take down the wall, you're going to be left with a lot of,
The wall's condition and
It's
the way that
horrible.
it's setting
Yeah.
right now is because they did not address those issues in the first place.
yeah.
That's why they have those cinder blocks trying to keep it from bowing out.
Yeah,
But I think ultimately the point is though that it's not as an engineer, I can't speak as an engineer, but the wall is really in bad shape and needs to be rebuilt. So it's got to come down and right, and be rebuilt somehow. So there's got to be the chance that what we're talking about can happen, but it could happen on its own.
It's
Oh,
happening.
It will happen on its
We're
own.
just
It will happen on its own.
we're waiting for it to be worse.
It's like waiting for the dam to break, basically,
Yeah.
Yes,
on that, yeah.
yes.
Do we have a motion for number 1?
I move that the proposed work at 5 Douglas Street is compatible with the U.S. Secretary of the Interior standards for the rehabilitation of historic buildings, as well as Eureka Springs Historic District Guidelines Number 15 demolition, and move that the level 3 work extend previously approved demolition and be approved according to the agreed-upon summary of facts as presented.
Second?
Steve Holyfield made the motion. Judy Holden seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried 6-0. Now, motion 2 for the retaining wall removal. You guys can make the motion or continue discussing on it.
I move that the proposed work at 5 Douglas Street is compatible with the U.S. Secretary of the Interior standards for the rehabilitation of historic buildings, as well as Eureka Springs Historic District Guidelines Number 38, retaining walls, and move that the level 2 work to move/replace retaining wall be approved according to the agreed-upon summary of facts as presented.
Second.
Judy Holden made the motion. Steve Holyfield seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 6-0, motion passed.
Thank you all very much.
Maggie will bring you
Promise
your...
it's going to be a beautiful house when it's done.
You say you've been on that property a number of times. I've walked it too, and it's going to be massive, but it's really great.
Consent agenda, we have none. Administrative approvals, by the City Preservation Officer, applications for repair and work involving no changes in materials, plus changes in roofing and paint color signs. These will all be level 1s. 28 Fairmont, repaint, repair, siding, Anderson. 2094 East Van Buren, remove sign, Thurman. 2060 East Van Buren, re-roof, Hoffay. 60 Spring, new sign, Yarborough. 64 Pine, repaint, Springer. 6 Steel, repair porch, re-roof, Weineman. 15 Pine, rebuild fence, retaining wall, repair/replace, stair supports, posts, stairs and railing, repair/replace siding, parts of roof, deck and fascia. Rubai and Burex. Level 1, 44 Prospect, replace cement sidewalk, repoint wall, repair deck railing, hand lights, repair paint, Carter. Commission business, approval of minutes for October 21st.
I move that we approve the minutes for October 21st, 2020.
Second.
Steve Holyfield made the motion, Greg Moon seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 6-0, motion passed. Our next meeting will be November 18th, 2020. Level 3 applications are due Thursday, November 5th. Level 2 applications due Thursday, November 12th. Discussion of guideline revision process. Do you have something, Glenna?
Somebody say something.
Okay, I'll say something. I had sent out an email asking what you all thought about the consultant, which turned out to be very, very expensive, even with the grant. So the consensus from the emails I got back seemed to be that you all wanted to do a series of workshops and work on the revisions ourselves. So I was thinking maybe after the first of the year, we could kind of get a schedule and get that together and figure out exactly what we're going to do with that.
Sounds good. Does everybody agree?
Yep.
Sounds good.
Okay. And then discussion for December meeting. We already don't have the second meeting in December. So I think it's like, what, December 4th? What?
December 2nd.
Second,
December 2nd.
okay. Do you guys want to meet then? Is everybody here?
December 2nd?
Yeah, the December 2nd, the first.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Sure, yeah.
So we'll have the December 2nd, Glenna, unless you had a reason? No? Okay, so we'll go ahead with that's on our calendar in our books.
So we just have one meeting in December?
I think that's what you've done in the past.
That's what we've done for, what, the last 3 years, I think?
The second meeting would be the 18th. Sometimes the second meeting falls really close to Christmas.
Yeah, this year, it's, what, 2 weeks out or something?
16th, which should,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want clarification, make sure we take it off our calendars and stuff.
Yeah, the 16th, so that's the week before
Christmas.
Christmas.
And then we won't have one in January till,
It's really early in January.
The 6th of January.
Oh, yeah, okay,
so one meeting December 2nd, and then the next meeting will be January the 6th.
right, if that's what you all want.
That's up
I
to you.
agree.
I mean, I guess if something since we-
Urgent, yeah.
urgent happens, since what we've done earlier this year with the COVID, we could do that way.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that okay with everyone?
Circulate for the
Glenna,
administrative
just-
approvals.
Do it by telephone?
And just if it's something that seems really urgent. I've been kind of telling people that there would just be the one meeting in December when they're out, but
Okay, I think that's good, and we'll just do what we've done earlier until the last, August. I think we started having our meetings back again. So we can handle it that way if something urgent comes up, or have a special, or just call the meeting for that day. Commissioner comments? Steve?
Nope, I'm good, thank you.
Judy?
I would like to thank everyone for voting to keep the HDC in Eureka Springs.
Maggie?
Ditto what Judy just said. I think it's very important that we have that success story. It's a milestone, and perhaps we can go forward and be extra progressive and community-minded.
Greg?
Nothing.
Randy?
Nothing for me.
Marty?
Yes, I'm glad that sanity prevailed and that we continue to have the HDC because it's a very important part of our city.
And I agree with, thank everybody. We are just thrilled up here.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I think Glenna, we can speak that Glenna is thrilled. And we want to thank Glenna for all her hard work and getting things done for the newspaper on our educational part. I mean, there was a lot of extra work.
Did
And
we
this-
see what the results were? I didn't see anything quantitative, I'm curious.
Steve, did you get the last one?
Yeah, it was
800?
It was 854 to vote against abolishing and 319 to vote to abolish.
So we got over 800 votes.
I think 72%.
75%
or
better,
72% of the population voted to keep it.
I had something I was going to say, now I forgot.
Yeah, I think people realize the importance of the HDC and the
And I
work
know
that-
Little Rock, Catherine watched as late as she could last night, and she was very thrilled that
Yeah.
everything passed. And I'm so thrilled Catherine came up, talked, and I think that helped us
Yeah,
tell the
absolutely.
importance of keeping our historic districts, so. So do we have an adjournment?
I move that we adjourn.
We have-
Second.
Steve Holyfield made the motion, Judy Holden seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 6-0, motion carried.